Assalamu Alaikum everyone. I hope all of you are doing very well. Today actually I am going to discuss about a topic of conics which is related with physics as well. And I will show you guys how we can use the concept of conics to solve some numerical problem with motions which is in physics. So before starting with that, I want to recap few concepts of conics for you guys. So let's see. All of you know about the equation of circle, which is x square plus y square is equal to r square. What this equation actually specifies? This equation specifies us of a circle which center lies at 0, 0 coordinate and the radius of this circle is r. Can we rewrite this equation in this manner, like x minus 0 whole square plus y minus 0 whole square equal to r square? What I did here, I just put a negative 0 with x, a negative 0 with y, but the equation is still the same. If we see the graph plotting of this equation, we will find that a circle which center is at 0, 0 and the radius of this circle is r, right? Now I want this circle center to be at 1, 2 coordinate point. How can we shift this circle center to this point? So we'll basically substitute this 0 with this 1 and we'll basically substitute this 0 with this 2. So the equation will be x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square is equal to r square, right? For this second equation, we are getting the graph like another circle which center is at 1, 2 and the radius is r. So the thing is, we learned how we can shift the center of a circle. So let's see the general format of this equation. X minus x naught whole square plus y minus y naught whole square is equal to r square. So this is the general equation of circle. Okay. Now I am going to show you some other equations of conics which we will transform into such way that we can use them to shift the centers of conics and the focus of conics. So let's see. If I start with the equation of parabola, which is y square is equal to 4ax or x square is equal to 4ay, how can we shift them? Just we can rewrite this equation in this way, like y minus 0 whole square is equal to 4ax minus 0, right? What we did? We added a negative 0 in y function and we added a negative 0 in x function. So if I want to determine a certain point which is y minus y naught whole square is equal to 4a into x minus x naught. Okay, so finally we are getting this equation. In the same way, if I want to shift for this equation, what we get? We get x minus x naught whole square is equal to 4a into y minus y naught. Now we can do the same thing for the equation of a straight line. Suppose a straight line is going through the origin, which equation is y is equal to mx, and if I want this straight line to go through another point, so how can we write that? We can rewrite this equation in this way: y minus 0 is equal to m into x minus 0, right? Also we can substitute this 0 with our desired point. So it is y minus y naught is equal to m into x minus x naught, right? I think you got my point. How am I transforming the formulas? For more example, the formula of a ellipse is x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1. We can transform it to x minus x naught whole square divided by a square plus y minus y naught whole square divided by b square is equal to 1. In the same way, the equation of a hyperbola, which is x square divided by a square minus y square divided by b square is equal to 1. We can transform this to x minus x naught whole square divided by a square minus y naught square divided by b square is equal to 1. In such way, we can shift the centers or focus of a conics. I think you guys got my point. Now, I am going to show you how can we use this concept in the numericals of motion in physics. Let's start with a very basic numerical of physics. I know all of you can solve this in very quick time, but I will solve it using the concept we learned today. So let's start. All of we know the formula for determining the height. So what's the formula for determining the height? This is y is equal to initial velocity into time minus half of the gravitational acceleration multiplied the square of time, right? Now I want to rewrite this equation in such way: y minus 0 ut minus half gt square. What I did here, I added a negative 0 in the function of y. Now I will just replace this 0 with any certain point we want. So I replace this with y minus y naught is equal to ut minus half gt square. I think all of you understand how I made this equation. Now I want to use this equation for solving this problem. How can I use this equation on this problem? Suppose I am drawing the scenario here. Here is a boy who threw the ball, and this ball finally landed on the ground. So this height is given, which is 2 meters. And the thing is, it went to the maximum height and it again landed on the ground. So if we see what was the initial height given, so the initial height given was 2 meters. So we can write y naught is equal to 2 meters. And what is the final height? The final height that this ball again landed on the ground. So final height becomes 0 meter, because when the ball will be contact with the ground, then there will be no displacement along the y-axis. I mean the height will be 0 meter. The velocity given, which is 15 meter per second. Now we can easily determine that how long is the ball in the air before it hits the ground. So we will just put the known value in this equation. So the value of y, the final position is 0. The initial value of y was 2, and the value of the velocity is 15. We don't know about time, and half. We all know about the value of gravitational acceleration, which is 9.8 and t square. So if we solve this, we will get a quadratic equation, which is 4.9 t square minus 15t minus 2 is equal to 0. We all know the formula how we can solve a quadratic equation, which is x equal to negative b plus minus root over the determinant divided by 2a. So using this formula, we can determine the value of t, and which I calculated in my calculator, which comes like 3.18 seconds. So let's solve another numerical of physics using the same concept. I know all of you can solve this numerical very easily, but I am going to use the same concept here as well. So first of all of you know that the trajectory equation of a projectile is y is equal to x tan alpha minus gx square divided by 2u square cos square alpha. Now I want to rewrite this equation in this way. y minus 0 is equal to x minus 0 tan alpha minus g into x minus 0 whole square divided by 2u square cos square alpha. Okay, the alpha is the angle of the projection and x is horizontal distance, y is vertical distance, and the alpha I already mentioned, and u is the initial velocity. Now we can substitute the 0 with our determined point. Is y minus y naught is equal to x minus x naught tan alpha minus g into x minus x naught divided by 2u square whole square alpha. I hope you guys got the point how I came to this equation. Now I would like to draw the scenario for this numerical. Here you can see a 2 meter tall guy and the horizontal distance is 10 meter and the height of the basket is 3.5 meter. So if I draw the scenario, it will be like a 2 meter tall guy is here whose height is 2 meter. He throws the projection which will be landed on the basket, but the height is here is 3.05 meter. Okay, and the horizontal distance is 10 meter. Now if I want to say I got the data to solve this equation, so which will be the value of y naught? Y naught means initial vertical distance. The y naught is 2 meter. What is the final vertical distance? Y, which is 3.05 meter. What is the x? X is 10 meter. And what is x naught? I mean the initial horizontal distance, that is 0 meter. Right? Now we can easily put this data on the equation and we can solve it. Also, the angle is determined in the question, which is 40 degree. So the angle of projection is 40 degree. Now we can easily solve it. I'm just putting the data here. So we get 3.05 minus 2 is equal to 10 tan 40 minus the value of gravitational acceleration is 9.8 into 10 square divided by 2 into the value of u is unknown cos square 40. So if you determine the value of u by changing the sides, the ultimate value of u will come as 10.66 meter per second. So that's how we solve this kind of numerical problem using the concept of conics. I hope all of you got my point. Thanks everyone for watching till the end.